Hello friends, James Stevenson and Loki back with your weekly subscriber exclusive episode of James and Loki's Gems of the Week, the show in which Loki over here and I walk you through all the posts we liked on X over the previous week and talk about why we liked them. Picking up where we left off last week with a tweet from Jason Calacanis you can read on last week's episode if you want to go check that out. Since then, here's the first thing I liked. It involves Elon Musk and James Douma, so you're probably going to like it. Cybertruck is an APC from the future. What's an APC? It is an armored personnel carrier. If you would like your personnel to be able to move across the battlefield without dying, put them in an armored personnel carrier. That way, anybody who's got handguns nearby won't be able to kill them in transit, is the point of an APC. And he's retweeting James Douma, who said, "Today I spent 7 hours relaxing to music in my indestructible," maybe a little bit of an exaggeration, "high-performance all-terrain luxury robot APC while the Earth put on a show of landscapes, downpours, and rainbows. I love Cybertruck." Yeah. I mean, there probably have been worse constructed APCs before in the world than the Tesla Cybertruck. It isn't the world's most armored vehicle. It's not a Brinks truck, but it's a lot cooler. If you had a Cybertruck and a Brinks truck at home, you would find yourself driving the Cybertruck a lot more often. Brinks trucks are not that cool. Here's one from Alexander Christensen at LinkedIn01 that I liked. I haven't seen this account before, but I did like this post. In March 2026, there were 70,000 EVs registered in Germany. Tesla had almost 10% of that market, and Model Y was the best-selling EV in the country. I suspect those 10% will be kindergarten numbers compared to what's coming when FSD supervised hits Germany. I don't know. Like, when you think about countries known for people loving to drive, Germany, I think, is top of the list, with maybe Italy. Who else, friends? What other country am I missing? Well, America, I guess. People say the thrill of the open road and whatever. So, I mean, maybe that's true. But when you talk about people who have a passion or an enthusiasm for driving around windy mountain roads, you think about Germans and Italians, I think. So will FSD sell well there if instead of having your hands on the wheel, your hands are off the wheel watching FSD do the driving for you? Is this going to be the top market in the world for Tesla? Probably not, right? Well, in market share terms, probably it'll stay Norway. In absolute number terms, probably it'll stay China, right? Tesla's delivering a lot in China. Well, I don't know if they sell more in the US or in China. Maybe it's the home market, the U.S. still, with a whole lot of Model 3s and Model Ys. I would have to look at the breakdowns from somebody like Troy Teslake, who is guessing, but doing an okay job guessing. Here's one from Ashok Alaswamy. The European regulation is followed by a lot more countries than just the ones in the European Union. That's an interesting piece of information to go with. Now that the dam has broken in the Netherlands, no actual dams were broken in the Netherlands. What Omar is talking about is the RDW, which stands for some Dutch words that I can't pronounce. The regulatory agency over car safety in the Netherlands has allowed FSD, and a lot of other countries will say that's good enough for us. If it passed their 1.5-year-long, intense, critical safety inspection process that everyone respects and doesn't want to have to spend as much money as they're spending to do, why would you repeat that cost everywhere? It would make no sense to. The list of FSD countries is about to skyrocket I think, where should I go to find the list of countries? And how did I get lost? Bear with me, friends. All right, I'm back. I found my place, and not only did I find my place, I don't know how sometimes this browser decides to skip to a completely different part of my likes timeline. I also found what I was looking for, which is the list of countries that follow the EU standards for autonomous or automated driving software approvals from Sunnyhith Kanakanti at Sunnyhit HK. Sunnyhith K. I've asked Grok to summarize the countries that are following the European regulation, and here they are. Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria, Croatia, Cyprus, Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Ireland, Italy, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, Netherlands, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden. And that's only the 27 countries all apply via EU law. In the non-EU Europe and in the Asia Pacific, there's United Kingdom, Norway, Switzerland, Turkey, Serbia, Ukraine, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, Bosnia and Herzegovina, North Macedonia, Albania, Armenia, Georgia, Moldova, Montenegro, Russia. Practical application may vary due to sanctions. Japan, South Korea, Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, Thailand, some others like Philippines or Vietnam in process or partial alignment. Then in Africa, there's South Africa, Egypt, Tunisia, Nigeria, Uganda, and others accepting approvals, San Marino, Andorra, plus additional recent accessions, e.g. Pakistan in some contexts. All right, there you go. So, can you believe I didn't trip over one country name? What are the odds? Sometimes I trip over regular words. Here's one from Nico at Nico_Aliaga. You can almost tell the exact moment when that chart peaked. Federal EV tax credits of up to $7,500 for new vehicles and $4,000 for used vehicles officially ended on September 30th, 2025. Following the passage of new legislation. What do we got here? It is Car Dealership Guy saying EVs made up 5.8% of new vehicle sales in Q1. That's flat versus last quarter and down 10.6%. From Q3 2025 is what Car Dealership Guy meant to say. So here's the peak. The peak was the last quarter that you were allowed to get the $7,500 EV tax credit on new vehicles or the $4,000 EV tax credit on used vehicles. After that, sales have been lower. Well, gee, who would have guessed that would happen when you remove the additional incentive to purchase an EV? Once that incentive was gone, every car brand sold less than they had in the prior year, except Tesla. Tesla's sales were up year over year. Now, some of that was because in the prior year, the Model Y was ramping up from its refresh around the world all at the same time. So they were a little suppressed volumes a year ago in Q1 due to that. But still, people are still buying Teslas because you don't need an incentive to buy a Tesla. It's already a good enough vehicle to buy at its retail price. Here's one from Sawyer Merritt. EVs ranked by total units sold in the US in Q1 2026. Tesla Model Y, 78,000. Tesla Model 3, 31,000. Toyota BZ, barely over 10,000. Everybody else under 10,000. Including the number one selling EV pickup in the US, the Tesla Cybertruck. No other pickup truck sold more, and no other pickup truck sold half as many, by the way. I made a chart about that. Maybe I'll make another chart that goes by brand instead of by model. I'll just add up all the ones that are made by the same brand and chart that. Figure out some way of charting if it was an increase or a decrease versus prior year, and make sure Tesla stands out visually. Here's one from Elon Musk. What happened to all the Tesla killers that the legacy press and hedge fund short sellers predicted were coming? Retweeting Captain Eli at the Captain Eli, Tesla alone sold 117,300 EVs in the US, more than all other EV makers combined. 99,099. GM plus Hyundai plus Toyota, Rivian, Ford, Lucid, BMW, VW, and everyone else still couldn't beat just Tesla. So I've made some charts like that before. Maybe I'll dust one of these off and have that be my visual. Here's one from Matt Rife. If you don't know who Matt Rife is, check out his stand-up comedy. He specializes in crowd work. He's exceptionally good at it and has become famous from having casual, getting-to-know-you conversations with people that are extremely funny. So I'll show you the context here. It was Howie. Hi, Howie, if you're watching. H.W. Feinstein in the great state of Washington. Tesla is mainstream culture, he said, with a Matt Rife video here. Maybe I'll just play this for you, and then you'll have your introduction to Matt Rife, if you want one. I will need to zoom out a little so that you can see and hear the video, though, and I'll restart it for you. Well, there is a parental content advisory on the next 3.5 minutes of content because Matt Rife does an unscripted show that is not G-rated. So if you'd like to skip the next 3.5 minutes, be my guest.
What you watching over there, bro? You said somebody's breaking into your car? Where are they at? Bro, I'll go beat that right now. I swear to God. You get like a notification on your phone?
Yeah, it said something.
What's that?
It said something set my alarm.
Something set the alarm? Are you parked outside?
Yeah.
You want to go check? Do you have the Sentry cameras? Can you turn them on?
Yeah,
That's what he was watching.
Is somebody out there?
to see if they was in my car.
What's it looking like? Can you imagine we roll out there with 300 people? It's like, hey, pop the front. What model Tesla you have? You have the Y? You like? I have the 3. You like it? Sometimes I get reminded how well my life is actually going. Because like 2 months ago, I was in LA and I was driving on the freeway and I was in the driver's seat and Alex, who was up here before me, was in the passenger seat. He's like, "How you feel, man?" I was like, "I don't know, man. Sometimes things just don't really be going the way that you hope they're going. And you know, like what if this kind of spike in my career is just kind of like a flash in the pan, you can't make it last or whatever." And he was like, "You realize you haven't touched the steering wheel the whole time?" I was like, "I guess it's going all right. I guess it'll be okay. Yeah, just getting driven around." And then he topped me off, dude. It was fire. No hands, you know. You a cop? Really? Yeah, the mustache. That makes sense. So you were actually totally okay with the amount of black people that were here. He was like, "Somebody's breaking into my car." He was like, "How's it feel?" Shots fired. How's it feel? If you guys had to guess a crime I'd get arrested for, what would it be? What did you say? Did somebody say soliciting? Who said that? That's prostitution? Come on, get rid of that law, man. Come on. But what's funny is you can do it for free. You just can't be like, "Here's gas money." Like that's... What's your name, man? What is it? Jamal?
Joel.
Oh, I was like, Jamal. Y'all have so little black people here, you started naming white people black people names. Just to make up for them. How long you guys been together?
11 years.
11 years, goddamn.
I took him from my best friend.
You took him from your best friend? Shame. 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 This way you can't be going around telling your girlfriends how good your man's is. Because she's going to be like, His name's Joel, but he f***s like Jamal. It's crazy. He's got the of a Jamal. Interesting. Do you guys have any kids?
Yeah.
Really? Really? I'm jealous. I do want kids someday. And abandon you like the last one? What you watching?
There you go, Matt Rife, talking about Teslas and how he owns a Tesla. He drives the same Tesla I drive. No, he doesn't. He drives a Model 3 Performance, I think he said. I have the Model 3 Mid-Range, which is a rear-wheel drive variant of the Tesla Model 3 that stopped being sold in 2019, I think. They were in a battery cell crunch and decided, hey, let's sell some of these with a medium-size pack instead of a standard range yet. And so they sold a mid-range for a while before they started selling standard range Model 3s. And then very quickly discontinued that medium-size battery pack. I've been liking mine for a long time. It's a long-range pack that's just missing 2 modules or something, I guess. But Matt Rife, very funny. I said, I did not know Matt Rife drives a Model 3 with FSD just like I do. We're basically twins, using the Seth Meyers gif. And I said I knew Matt Rife was funny, but I did not know he was selling out the O2 Arena in London funny. Which is a retweet I put here. I love London. I would really love to move to this city. Looking forward to O2 Arena this Saturday and then again on the 23rd. He replied twice. He has sold out the O2 Arena twice in a month, I guess. So he's getting pretty popular, I guess. And I replied, I'm glad you didn't run afoul of the Metro Police. What with speech laws being what they are in today's UK, just ask Glinner. Who's Glinner? That is Graham Linehan, Irish. Screenwriter. So he writes TV shows that are comedies that are funny, like The IT Crowd, which used to be allowed on the British broadcast airwaves. And you can't make that kind of comedy anymore because it's quite literally illegal in England these days for you to promote insensitive speech towards certain groups of people and not other groups of people. And how he said he's glad he got me in front of Matt. I am too. That's kind of cool. That's the awesome thing about X, is that famous people can just reply to you, and you can tag them and see if maybe they will want to write back and say something. Here's one from Tesla Yoda at Tesla Yoda. Breaking: Tesla is actively hiring self-driving data collection supervisors in 34 cities. Check out the new cities below: Tempe, Arizona; San Diego, California; Marina del Rey, California. Marina del Rey. I can't stop doing Californians impressions. It's such a dumb sketch that SNL used to do with Fred Armisen, Bill Hader, and Kristen Wiig and company. And look at all these cities. I'm not going to read them all because you're tired of hearing me read after all those countries I read earlier. But it was good news. All those countries will be allowing Tesla FSD on the strength of the recommendation from the Dutch Safety Agency. So also really good news here. And we've seen Tesla announce the openings of robotaxi service operations in Dallas and Houston. I haven't seen one drive video yet to see whether those are supervised or unsupervised, but I imagine that'll be coming maybe today on X if they have actually kicked off those services so far. Here's one from Jesse Pelton. China is the biggest and most competitive car market on Earth. Tesla is the best even in China. Look at this top 5 list and pay special attention to the pricing here. So the Tesla Model Y at $38,500 outsold the Geely Starwish at $10,000 per car. You could quite literally buy 3 of these and have $8,500 left over with the money you would have paid for one of these, but these sold better. This should tell you something. Like, I mean, I guess one of the things it tells you is that this Geely Star Wish is a glorified golf cart, as some of these vehicles are. The Nissan Xuanyi 13.9 and the BYD Yuan UP 10,900. The Li Auto i6 or L6, maybe? That's got to be an i6, or else they would have capitalized the L, huh? Let me know in the comments below if you know that's a capital I or a lowercase l. Because one of the things I hate about fonts the most is when they don't differentiate between a capital I and a lowercase l. Just cap your I at the top and the bottom, and people will know that it's a capital I, font makers. But yeah, check it out. 39,827 is more than any of these sold, and maybe double what this one sold. That's kind of crazy, because BYD isn't making garbage. They're making perfectly acceptable EVs, to my knowledge. And so that's good news. So I liked both of those. Here's one from Jeff Lutz saying, do basic research. To Ed Conway, that 100% tariff on Chinese EVs might have something to do with it. What happened to all the Tesla killers? We saw this tweet earlier. Ed Conway believes that it's the tariff on Chinese EVs that's the reason why Tesla does so well in the US. Jeff Lutz is saying, even when there's no additional cost to ship the vehicle overseas that the customer must bear, Tesla still outsells Chinese vehicles in China. So if you think Tesla can only compete when there are protectionist barriers erected, you've got the story at least a little wrong when Tesla Model Y is the #1 selling vehicle in China. And perhaps you're right about other companies and not Tesla. Like, if this Geely Star Wish were available for $10,000 in the US, would Ford and GM be selling passenger sedans as well in the US against that? If it were available, against this, if it were available? I don't know, maybe not, right? Because the cheapest sedan you could get from Ford or GM might be $20,000 or $22,000, something like that. Let me know in the comments below what the lowest price domestically produced inside the US sedan is from an American automaker. Like, yeah, you can get a Suzuki or Mitsubishi or whatever the extremely tiny microcar hatchback is without paying a tariff or import duty or whatever, but that's not what I'm talking about. Here's another one from Jeff Lutz. The reality is, you say the address you want to go to, press one button, and your car does 100% of the driving. There's nothing like it anywhere for sale to consumers, other than from Tesla. Yet Bloomberg has to go out of their way to call it partially automated driving system marketed as full self-driving, and the comments from people who have never built or sold anything for money have to rush to give it some form of LX label. The reality for people who buy this is you get in the car, say your destination, and it drives you anywhere. Replying to Bloomberg, that is @business on X, marketed as fully self-driving software. So funny. So I gave that one a like to speed it on its way to ratioing the fool out of business. Good work by Jeff. Here's one from Michael Dunn, down 22% in Q1. That's almost 1 million cars. China's wholesale passenger vehicle sales fell 22% year-on-year to 4.2 million units. In the first quarter of 2026, China passenger vehicle sales slide 22% as buyers hold back. You gotta wonder, in a centrally planned economy, when major shifts like this happen, why they're happening. Because, well, mostly the reason I wonder about it is because I don't understand it. So let me know in the comments below if you understand what's going on in the Chinese car market and why it's down so much, but Tesla's still doing okay. Here's one from James Douma. We saw him to kick off this episode. Here's another one. Interesting framing, but it's actually worse than this. With cancer, the median victim is 73, whereas the median car accident victim is 35. If you're anti-self-driving, you're arguing for more widows and more orphans, and far more people in wheelchairs. Yeah, so this is his way of reposting Brett Winton at Winton Arc, because he works at Arc Invest, where he's the chief futurist. Post about self-driving and how it's the future. The annual social cost of cancer and auto accidents are very roughly equivalent. Imagine a new cancer drug coming out that reduced mortality by 90% across every cancer, and the AMA aggressively lobbied against it because of its potential suppressive impact on hospital visits and surgeries. That is the union with respect to autonomous robotaxis right now. Yeah. Unions want to keep selling cars, and one of the ways to keep selling cars is to make people replace the cars that were wrecked in accidents. I'm not making stuff up, friends. That's what's going on. Like, you're gonna have to produce and sell fewer cars when there are fewer accidents on the road that total cars and require them to be replaced. Yeah. More perfect US would prefer to keep killing pedestrians. 40,000 Americans die every year, roughly, in traffic accidents, highway accidents. And those are only the fatalities. There are way more injuries than there are fatalities. And if you could knock that down to a tenth as many, you should. And that is the promise of FSD. If everybody can get a full self-driving vehicle that's 10 times safer than a human drives, 90% of those lives that today are being lost would be saved. That's the point James Douma is making. And keep a lot of folks out of wheelchairs. That's improving quality of life by quite a lot. Here's one from Sawyer Merritt. Nissan has unveiled the first all-electric Nissan Juke. It will go on sale in Europe in 2027. Pricing and specs will be revealed later. This is the production version. Certainly an interesting design, LOL. Nissan saying Juke EV is Europe's rule-breaking core model, pushing culture forward through design that dares to break convention again. I'll let you look at these photos while I sip my coffee. Now, you may not have noticed, but on the back bumper, vertically, or twisted to one side, it does say Juke down the side over here. So, in case you're looking at it going, what is that thing? The Princess Bride just came to mind. Oh my god, what is that thing? It's a Nissan Juke, and I will click through to the comments to show you my reply. Nissan Juke designer, I want to make a car that looks just like this rock climbing wall. Just like this wall, man. I am so hungry right now. That kind of is the design. That's the vibe I got off the Juke. Does Nissan make a vibe as well as a Juke? I forget. All right, here's one from Eric Doherty at Eric L. Daw, with a GH at the end. Boom, some American drivers are ecstatic for Elon Musk's Tesla semi-truck. Massive windows, the seat is right at the center, it's usually off to the side. Well, I'm just going to play you the audio because this reporter I thought, did an outstanding job of exposition. There's a lot of good information being passed from this reporter in this segment. I think she said it exactly the way she planned it. Kudos to this Fox News reporter on the scene doing really good work.
Come on over. I'm going to show you what's inside. It costs half as much money to charge this truck than it is to fuel your diesel truck with enough gas to go about 500 miles, which is what this one does. Now, there are a lot of things that the drivers tell me they love about this. Right off the bat, you'll notice these massive windows, but also the seat is right in the center. It's usually off to the side and they can't reach the buttons they need to. Now, a lot of other things, 10 exterior cameras, obviously these massive screens. They're not inhaling the fumes of a diesel truck. The seat is no longer shaking. All things that are important for a good office or workplace, as this is the office they spend a lot of time in. John, there are a lot of benefits, and the drivers tell me they love it. Back to you.
There you go. Yeah, good work by that reporter in Livermore, California. No word on if that town was founded by Jesse Livermore. I guess I'll learn the answer to that riddle nevermore unless you know, and leave me a comment below. Grok could tell me if I cared. Here's one from Satoshi at SA_futurist that I liked. FSD is so good now it's mind-blowing. My friend who was so against it for years now subscribed to FSD and uses it every day. Reposting Ashok Alaswamy saying Tesla self-driving works very well on narrow roads with oncoming large tractors. Retweeting Kanan Boz. People wonder if FSD is safe on narrow European roads. Well, have a look at what it did when a tractor took up more than half of the road, or when overtaking bicycles with fast oncoming traffic. Yeah, you just slow down, you stay behind your bicycle, you wait for the oncoming traffic to pass, and then you pass the cyclist. Very safe, very easy. You don't make your passengers concerned. It is good work by FSD, and even the critics are coming around to it, says Satoshi, longtime Tesla investor. From 2012, he said in one of his posts this week, I had come to understand that he was an original IPO investor in 2010, but 2012 is good enough. He caught all of the big revaluations up if he was buying in early 2012. Here's another one from Satoshi. The Signature S edition will be a timepiece to own. I appreciate Tesla for the invite and changing the course of automotive history. When I first came across Tesla in 2006, and I had the privilege to watch the first ground-up successful EV to ever be produced, it was the flagship symbol of Tesla, if not the EV world. When I first invested in 2012, I never thought how ludicrously successful Tesla would become. The Model S reached plus 25.8% gross margin 18 months into volume production in 2013 with the first ever over-the-air software updates. More than a decade later, no other OEM EV has come close to these numbers. This is paying the last tribute to the very first of its kind, which is now a supercar and a large sedan. Thank you to the legendary Model S program and Tesla team and Elon Musk. So your Model S order is confirmed. Satoshi is getting one of the 250 Signature S editions. They're making even fewer of the Model X Signature edition, only 100 Model X signatures, all of which will be the 6-passenger variety, I think I remember seeing. So congratulations, Satoshi, on getting a collector's item for sure. One of 250. I imagine a bunch of those will stay garaged by their owners. Invitation only. You can't go buy one if you want one. If Tesla didn't invite you to purchase one, you can't have it. Here's one from Brian Basson. Well done to the Falcon and Starlink teams closing in on 12,000 satellites launched to orbit. He is replying to me and Elon Musk. I posted this. No orbital launch provider but SpaceX has ever put even 1,000 satellites in orbit. SpaceX has launched more than 11,000. What has Elon Musk said about this unprecedented accomplishment? It's a good start. In his sometimes characteristic, ridiculous understatement. Like, there would be massive celebration and partying at Blue Origin if they had been the first to launch 10,000 satellites and nobody else had launched even 1,000. That's true of SpaceX, and there is no party and there is no celebration. So I thought I would do my part by having Grok help me create this fictitious sign that could stop being fictitious if somebody at Starbase or elsewhere decides to have it printed up and hang it on the wall. This is how many satellites Starlink has put into orbit. A lot of space companies haven't launched 10 satellites into orbit. But that was the first checkbox here. Then there's 100, 1,000, 10,000. And somebody tried to community note this post. Let me click through here and see if I can find that for you, friends. I can't because the community note was shot down by a response. No note needed. Somebody had tried linking to Wikipedia and saying that according to Wikipedia, the maximum size of the Starlink constellation is 34,400. And I went and looked at the Wikipedia article, and it said SpaceX has applied for up to 34,400. I was like, well, that's not a maximum size possible. That's just how many they're up to now. They could keep applying for permission to launch more than that in the future if they wanted to. So good to see that note no longer even appearing to people who are community notes writers, as I am. Orders of magnitude is how Elon Musk reposted it. If you're wondering, hey James, how did you get 11.3 million views on your post? Perhaps you guessed it was when Elon Musk reposted me. That's usually how more than 10 million people see my posts. Here's another one from Elon, and thank you to Taiwan Semiconductor and Samsung for your support in bringing this chip to production. It will be one of the most produced AI chips ever. With this reply to himself saying congrats to the Tesla AI chip design team on taping out AI 5. Probably you saw and liked this post earlier this week. I guess I didn't like it because I liked the reply instead and didn't want to tie up this show. Like, the only way you're going to know what I have liked since likes went private 2 years ago is to watch this video series. Otherwise, you'll have no way of knowing what Loki and I have been liking on X. So I try to package it up knowing in advance that's how you're going to find out what I liked on X this week. Taping out, I learned, is vestigial from decades ago when chip designers would save their work onto a tape drive, and then they would ship that tape drive to the fab. And then the fab would load the tape drive before they didn't have floppy disks to save stuff to back then. So then they would get the schematics or the blueprints or whatever they're called for microprocessors off of the tape drive to know, hey, how are we supposed to make this thing? And then get to work doing, I don't know, dies and tooling to be able to produce the chips, whatever. I am well outside my field of expertise, if you can't tell. Here's one from Joe Tegmeyer at Joe Tegmeyer. Cybercab production line work continues, and more vehicles seem to be leaving the factory headed to the outbound lot today. I saw another 60, but this time they were spread all over the outbound lot, some driving to superchargers, others doing driving testing, while even more looked to be preparing for transportation off-site. Now that we're in mid-April, I'm hoping we will begin to see even more of these showing up at the outbound lot, and if that starts to happen, it will give a better idea how the production line is doing as far as ramping up. The ramp is excruciatingly slow at first, but then once the flywheel picks up enough, you're going to start spending some serious money making cybercabs that you're not selling. So I went ahead and agreed with the speculation from Alexandra Mertz. Maybe we'll see it later in this video, maybe we won't. I'll tell you about it now in case. She expects there's going to be some quarters soon where Tesla has negative free cash flow because Tesla's continuing to invest in capital projects. Remember, those get subtracted from operating cash flows to figure out if your free cash flow is positive or negative, right? So if your operating cash flow takes a hit from producing cybercabs that you're not selling, then you have cash outflows to buy the parts and pay the workers who made the cybercabs, but you don't have cash inflows from buyers who are paying you for those new vehicles like normal. Usually when Tesla makes something, they sell it to somebody and they have a cash inflow. Well, that doesn't happen when you're making all these cybercabs and shipping them out to be tested to start making a cybercab service, and then even once they're in operation earning fares, those fares are not $30,000 all at once. They're $100 a day or $200 a day or whatever it is, and then it takes you a long time to make your usual $30,000, right? It might take you 300 days to make it back if that were your utilization rate, right? So we could have a few in a row negative free cash flow quarters coming up unless Tesla does a really good job selling the rest of their line of products and is very capital efficient with the kind of stuff that gets subtracted, which is the long life useful assets purchased by the company and put into service. Those come out of operating cash flow to leave free cash flow, which can either be positive or negative, depending which of those is larger. Did you have more positive operating cash flow, or did you have more spending on capital items? And the answer to that question gives you positive or negative free cash flow. So just something to be aware of and thinking about. Here's one from Brian White at Futuraza. What makes you think he had any strong skills? What are we talking about here? It's in a thread I began saying a lot can change in 4 years. Ford wasn't even among the top 5 selling EV brands in the US last quarter, and the F-150 Lightning wasn't even among the top 5 EV pickups. I'll back this up and let you hear Jim Farley in his own words.
We're really on a mission at Ford to lead an electric and digital revolution for many, not few. And I have to say, the shining light for us at Ford is this beautiful Lightning made right down the road in Dearborn, right here in the state of Michigan, already the leader of all EV pickup trucks in our industry in the United States. Take that, Elon Musk. We're really on a mission.
Yeah, everybody remembers the take Elon Musk at the end. They don't remember that right before that, he said the F-150 Lightning was the leader in EV pickups. Well, it's not even among the top 5 EV pickups anymore. That is how far the mighty first mover advantage Ford F-150 Lightning pickup has fallen from its zenith to its nadir, I guess. Was that really his title? What are we talking about here? Was that really his title? Oh, there's some in-between stuff here. So I'll give you the rest of the thread. For anyone curious what the top 5 EV pickups were, chart crime warning, the numbers shown are correct, but Grok didn't draw the bar lengths to scale. If you want to know what Q1 2026 US EV pickup sales looked like, Cybertruck was number 1, and it was more than double these second and third place trucks. But if you look, 1658 and 1653 ought to be almost exactly the same length. Like this one might be one row of pixels shorter than this one or something, and it's not. And then 1288 wouldn't be this much smaller than 1658 would unless your axis started at 1,000 or whatever. But if it did, then this bar and this bar would be a lot closer together. So that's why I say they're not drawn to scale. Yeah, Cybertruck is selling more than twice the number 2 competitor Rivian R1T. And former head of Ford Communications North America, Mike Levine. I think I got some of these words scrambled around in their order, but he was head of communications for Ford North America, I think. Has since deleted his X account, but my screenshots are immutable. Here we had Mike Levine saying Tesla Cybertruck loses out to Ford F-150 in Cox survey of U.S. pickup buyers, and Ford's Mustang Mach-E is eating into Tesla's U.S. sales. Neither of those are true anymore. Brian asked, was that really his title? I said, not exactly, but essentially. Ford North America Product Communications Director. Okay. Also, boy, did you ever ask the right person. Who else keeps screenshots of profile pages from accounts that have since been deleted? Only me. If you're looking for that information, Grok can't tell you because Grok doesn't keep screenshots of old profiles that have been deleted since. I do sometimes. Bit of a party school, but I guess that makes sense. University of Arizona. UCLA Anderson. I thought about replying with something and decided not to. Truth Seeker replied, never enough X. Communications was definitely not his best skill. With a screenshot of Mike Levine blocking him. Brian asking, what makes you think he had any strong skills? That communication may have been his strongest skill and still very poor. Compared to the average person. You assume anybody who makes it to director of anything for a major corporation must have some strong skills. But I was never impressed by any of Mike Levine's skills. Maybe others were. Here's one from Sawyer Merritt. Waymo has announced that their fully autonomous robotaxi rides are now available to the general public in Miami and Orlando. Waymo is also introducing highway travel in Miami. I've added the service areas below in both Florida cities. Starting the day, residents and visitors alike can simply download the Waymo app and hail a fully autonomous ride immediately. Now, I've almost never been to the Miami area, so I can show you this visual and then not really say much about it and keep on moving. Like, this is not all of South Florida, is one of the ways of saying this. That's just part of Miami, right? And then this one I can talk to you about a lot more because I've been familiar with Orlando since my youth. And this is a small part of what most people think of when they think of the Orlando area, right? So your only problem with this coverage map, if you want to hail a Waymo to take you from the airport to Walt Disney World, is that this map doesn't include the airport. And this map doesn't include Disney World. So those would be two of your problems. There's a lot of the Orlando area that isn't in this coverage map. So SeaWorld's water park and theme park are here. So you would barely be able to get to them in what's called Williamsburg neighborhood of Orlando. And Universal is in here. The Mall at Millennia is in here. Some of the middle of I-4 is here. And like some of what one might consider downtown Orlando is in here. Like the Amway Center, I think, is right here. So I can't figure out how they decided, for example, to stop their map here when this is just iDrive extended here and there are no intersections, right? They could easily have extended their map like all the way across here and all the way down here, except this is a toll road here. the 417 Greenway. So they could have gone almost all the way to it, I guess. But then, yeah, so all that to say, they haven't covered the greater Orlando area or the greater South Florida area yet. Only little parts of it are within the geofenced area for now. Here's one from Lars at Lars Moravi. He is running a lot of stuff at Tesla for auto design and engineering. And I guess he's been doing a lot of appearances with Franz von Holzhausen on like the Jay Leno's Garage show. They both went to that, etc. Here's a different Franz Liebman at Lipo1 said 800,000 kilometers, 0 defects, passed inspection again in a Tesla Model S, the toy that was supposed to die after a few years, no engine rebuild, no oil changes, no emissions drama, just driving. Meanwhile, the internet keeps repeating batteries die quickly, EVs die fast, or don't last. Not real-world proven. Funny, my car didn't get the memo. Maybe the real issue isn't technology. Maybe it's that some opinions are just pre-installed. Curious, does anyone know any car in Austria with more than 800,000 kilometers on the clock? I'd genuinely like to see it. More details. Here, the future isn't coming. It's already parked in my garage. Now, I would say the most deceptive part about this post is that this person did admit that they had their battery pack replaced. So, like, that should have either been mentioned in this post, or you shouldn't have said, batteries die quickly with an X next to it. Because, I mean, I don't care if it was replaced after 400,000 kilometers. Probably you should tell people that and say, hey, that's plenty good. Lars replying, we always aim to make great cars that just happen to be EVs or autonomous vehicles. I love seeing these longevity stories. Little known fact, your Tesla is super reliable and durable. Awesome. So there you go. I found it in the comments. If you're wondering, why do I know that battery pack was replaced? I was impressed until I read that, and I was like, well, yeah, that makes sense for a car that old to have had the battery pack replaced on it. But I thought that it should have been disclosed. If you're doing all that bragging about how great your car is, you should tell people, hey, we had to replace the pack once. Here's another one from Alexander Christensen, who I guess I saw earlier. Some never get tired of being wrong. Here's Greg Bellini at Greg Bellini 66. Tesla will never hit $400 again. So, subscribers, I will tell you, this is the same person who used to be known as Grant Belden. He ditched his old Grant Belden account, where he had several times said Tesla will never hit $1 trillion again. Excuse me. Of market cap. And I made videos about that, saying, hey, how many times do you want to be wrong about this? Every time you've said Tesla will never be worth more than $1 trillion of market cap again, it has gone back over it again. He's still doing it under a different account, the Greg Bellini 66 account, saying Tesla will never hit $400 again after it briefly dipped below $400 last week, I guess, and then right back over it again. Here's one from Wes at WMoral3. The thing is, almost all EV owners were once ICE vehicle owners, and yet almost none want to go back. That should tell you everything. Take a test drive. If you have not experienced it yourself, you won't regret it. Retweeting Cybertruck Mama at Truth and Tesla. I am 62 and have owned the following vehicles in my life. I will not read them to you. There's a lot. I have owned something like a 2006 Honda Accord myself, and a Tesla Model 3, but not a Performance. And I won't read you this whole thing because this post is longer than I remembered. You can pause and read through the whole thing if you would like. I'm glad I didn't start reading that to you. And 1,900 people liked it. And 2,700 people liked the repost from Wes. So how do you not like that when you see it? I gave it a like, or Loki did. I forget which of us liked it. Loki, do you remember which one of us liked that post? He doesn't remember. Tesla will triple in 2026 from hodler at Tesla shareholder. Let's see this again and hear the audio.
Didn't you just say yesterday that it's never going to be above 400 again?
Yeah, well, I believe that. Yeah, well, I believe that. Yeah, well, I believe that. Well, I believe that.
5 minutes later.
Didn't you just say yesterday that it's never going to be above 400 again?
Yeah, well, I believe that. Yeah, well, I believe that.
All right, you get the idea. So that's pretty funny. I gave that one a like. Here's one from Andyland at Andy1 and FSD is shockingly good. I am completely gobsmacked. Tesla team, bravo, truly. First drive in Amsterdam after 5 years on autopilot. So 4,400 likes on this. That's not a video, it's just a picture. While plugged in and charged, I guess there would have been no point in shooting video of that. But yeah, good post. Here's one from Elon Musk. It's just a lot of answers to questions. What is the story behind the questions? I will show you the Glenn Beck TV, at Glenn Beck story. Pause and read through this if you haven't seen it already. I don't want to read it to you if you saw it already, and there's a good chance that you did, because it's got 27,000 likes on it, and Elon's response has 39,000 likes on it. Long story short, SpaceX will be remembering Liv Parado with her Shiba Inu mascot dog, Asteroid, being the official mascot of SpaceX. And Elon answered all of Liv's interview questions for him that she never got to ask him. And Rebecca Parado, Liv's mom, said thank you to Elon. So those got likes as well. And lastly, I thought when I saw this that this was a successful launch of the SpaceX Raptor V3 version Starship full stack, and I was wrong. This is some other launch that Jennifer Strahan posted today. I was like, wow, they launched it already? I didn't think they were going to do that yet, and they haven't. It's going to be in May, I guess. But still, good video taken by Jen Strahan of a Starship launch, which is the only kind of vehicle they do launch from Boca Chica, Texas. How can you tell that's where she is? Because her camera work lets you know. And maybe I should have warned you that there would be a lot of subwoofer action before I hit play, before I turned on the volume of that video. And that's the last post that I like this week. So with that, we will check back in with Loki in his bed to see that he is still curled up over here and snoozing. Maybe I'll make another video today. We'll see how it goes. Thank you for watching the video. I appreciate you, each and every one of you. Your subscriptions are what make this channel possible, especially my two executive producers, Kathy Kishler and Rebellionaire.com, and I'll see you in the next one.